What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, it's not Monday. How do you feel about this?
Look, frankly, I'm glad, because it was just another manic Monday, Connor. And yeah. I wish it was Sunday, because that's my fun day. It's a great song. We all love it.
Here's the thing. This is what puts us in a bit of an issue, that we didn't record on Monday this week.
No.
And it's also meant that, because there was other things on, Shaun. We all had things, okay? Some of us got older. Well, actually, all of us.
No, actually, I look, I'll explain later. Never mind.
Okay, experiments. But I got a brand new microphone, and I am trying it out for this show. And I'm worried, terrified, I would use, that it's going to go wrong, and we will have to re-record this again. So I hope it sounds okay.
I'll be honest, Connor. We're putting this out even if it's just my half of the audio.
That's the good half. Yes.
That's where all the hot takes come from.
So, what's the issue here? Is that because this is Tuesday Mondays? No, Mondays.
No, it's Tuesday Mondays. That's what we call it.
Really, you should just call it Movie Tuesdays, but no.
No, because it has to be. In my head, it makes more sense as Tuesday Mondays.
So, because it's Tuesday Mondays, we have to talk about news stories that might be a little old, Shaun. And
it's true.
One in particular we have to start with.
Oh, because, do you ever just miss a boat? Do you ever go on for a boat and you just fucking missed it?
So our fans, they like comic book movies, Shaun.
Mad about them.
And when there's a new trailer, they are mad about learning just all the ins and outs and all the breakdowns and the red circles and the arrows and what's going on. And something happened last week where we recorded on a Sunday.
Yeah, and big mistake.
Whenever we do that, we always think, God, I hope nothing happens tomorrow, because that's when we put the episode out. And at about 4 o'clock, there was a little trailer released, a teaser trailer, for The Eternals, Shaun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, lads.
And we didn't even record this Monday, so now 8 days later, we're back with only the hottest goss and rumours of this movie.
We'll probably still get a bunch of shit wrong, I'll be honest.
I've watched millions of videos in the meantime, so now I know all the opinions.
Yeah, even the wrong ones, and most of them are wrong.
Especially the wrong ones.
It's the only ones I focus on.
Yeah. So, The Eternals did come out, Shaun. This is the first teaser trailer that anyone is really seeing. We've seen a bit of it they had like a Marvel clip thing a few weeks ago or a few months ago.
Yeah, a couple of like just shots basically. But this is like giving you the vibe of the whole movie.
Yeah, and I think really the main question everyone was asking me during the week was...
No, fuck you.
Shaun, what are the Eternals? And I was like... my name's not Shaun, number one, ma'am. And two, I bet I know a guy who would know the answer to that particular question. And so, Shaun, luckily I know a man called Shaun. Shaun, coming to you.
Yeah.
As the expert in this. And a
Absolutely.
man who has never explained what the Eternals are to me. Imagine I don't know. Please, for everyone, what the hell are the Eternals, Shaun?
Look... I've been through this a number of times on the show, but every episode is someone's first episode. Maybe someone was drawn in by 8-day-old takes on the Eternals teaser. So
someone sitting around last Sunday and is just like, fuck, I know it's 6 days out, but God, I need more.
God, I need to ruminate on this for a while. The Eternals, basically, they were created by a race of aliens called the Celestials. They're basically gods. They've been around throughout all of human history, from the beginning of human evolution up until the modern day and presumably the future.
Okay.
They're related to the Deviants, which are an offshoot of the Eternals. The Deviants are people like Thanos. They're basically fucked up and monsters. But the Eternals, by and large, pretty good. Think Avengers, but mythical gods.
Interesting.
basically the vibe we're going for here. It's also very Jack Kirby, and it's mental. So this is a bit of a weird one to have just pop up in the MCU. It's said in the trailer that throughout all of human history we have never interfered until now. And in the MCU, if you chart all of the things that have happened, there's been like pretty much one of the worst things that could ever happen to humans happened. And then no Eternals. They didn't show up.
What about Malekith in Thor the Dark World? He wanted to destroy the whole universe. What if Thor didn't get there in time, Shaun?
What if the Eternals were teased in Thor the Dark World?
But that was the only film.
It was the only time it's addressed.
Thanos showed up and they were like, he's alright. Malekith, he's the fucking big dog. We need to take this guy down.
Props to you on remembering Malekith, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, no, this is very much a teaser trailer. It doesn't give much info on like plot or major villains or anything like that. But I will say, it does look fucking cool.
It does look very cool. And so, I mean, as we said, this trailer is a week old, so everybody has already seen it. So, we don't want to go shot by shot. I'm sure you've had it broken down many a time. Red circles all over the place, Shaun. But the main thing that stood out to me was that, like, you see the ancient people, they come in the spaceship, and there's the bit where then you see Richard Madden, and he's, like, aging through the times. And you have him as Icarus, and so I think that's really cool that they had a good introduction to everybody in the series. Is it McGrew? Is that who he's with?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. I've only ever seen it written down. I always said Macari, but that might be the Irish accent in me.
So no, he's with Cersei, who's Gemma Chan. McGrew is the speedster.
Yes, sorry, and we have Angelina Jolie then as Thena.
As Tina, who's the warrior. The warrior leader of the team. And I think Angelina Jolie looks really, really great in this. I think it looks like a really badass role. And it doesn't stand out. Like, to get someone as big as Angelina Jolie in a movie, it would be very easy to just be like, oh, that's Angelina Jolie in a Marvel movie. But it's like, oh no, this looks like a really strong and impressive character. Yeah, and I think that probably would be more likely to attract her to the role, rather than just, we're going to lead on the fact that you're Angelina Jolie. You have to give her something to do.
Exactly,
And so, she's being shown as a bit of a badass throughout the whole thing. And you see, to be honest with you, the trailer is just a series of shots. It's a series of, it doesn't reveal anything. It gives you a general sense that they came to Earth, they've been around for centuries and centuries, and they're just kind of around. And then it starts off at the beginning of Man, and then the trailer ends with a gag where they're all sitting around the table talking about Iron Man is dead, Cap is gone, and so it's like right up to modern times. And so it's like, what happens in between? In the 800 years in between, that's the interesting bit.
Yeah, and do you think in this movie that it's going to be, let's walk through time, and then we're in the modern day, and then the main plot happens, quote unquote, or is it going to be the main plot happening and then kind of flashbacks to the Eternals' origins, basically?
It might be. I think flashbacks, maybe. Like, I think it might do the Arrow thing where they come across a problem and then you have a flashback to something that they solved the same problem or something similar, and you see their character grow it or something like that. Like, yes, you have a lot of characters here to play with, and so it's a case of how do you get all of these characterizations all into this one film, and played by very big actors, like all of these people. And like Kit Harington is in here as Dane Whitman, the Black Knight as well. You have to get him involved, and I think him, Richard Madden, and Gemma Chan as Cersei. I think they're going to be in a love triangle, and it's going to be a case of there's an interesting thing where whenever you see Cersei and Icarus in all the shots, like they're spanning all the years, he looks a lot more happy to be there than she does in all the like romantic scenes.
Right, okay.
I feel like she might get involved with the Black Knight as Kit, and then you have two Kings of the North. just not being happy with each other.
By God.
And
brother on brother.
It could be a thing where Richard Madden, I don't know if he goes bad. I don't know if they'll go full Icarus bad, because I don't think Icarus is seen as that bad in the comic books, but he could be, it could be a case of like he's on the verge of jealousy, that he's like, and he then comes back from that, and then he might make the ultimate sacrifice at the end. He's like, no, we got to band together to solve this.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit in The Hero Zero. Like, Icarus's main flaw is his arrogance. Like he
looks like Richard Madden. I mean, I'd be arrogant.
He's justified, I will say. But I think like a lot of this film might be him learning to overcome that. Maybe all of the Eternals will have some flaw or some weakness that they're overcoming.
How human. Interesting for gods.
Imagine gods becoming more like human to be better people. Fucking wild thoughts on this podcast.
That the Thor, the Dark World plot?
I think that's every Thor plot for the most part.
Yes.
We do also see Barry Keoghan in this trailer, and Druig just looks bad. Like
he got a little cult in the forest.
Yeah, he's got a little foresty cult going, which I don't know the scope of this movie, because it'd be weird to just introduce the Eternals and have it as like here's a story that's self-contained. I think like this is going to be everything that happens in this movie. I think the Marvel universe as a whole needs to react to it. To be 9 gods showing up.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest with you, my theory is I've gone full batshit. Okay. And that is Sprite is one of the characters, played by Leah McHugh. And she has the ability to wipe people's minds. And so what this story could be is that maybe she wipes the memories of these gods and they go around living their life. Mm-hmm. And so maybe they meet somebody else, they have children, and they pass on the mutant gene into those children.
Interesting.
And so it could be a case that they have children with these normal people, and that is the first ramifications of mutants in the MCU, and that's how you bring them in.
It's a pretty believable way of doing it. You'd have what happens if there's like this eternal, basically godlike DNA mixes with human DNA, and then filter that down through centuries and centuries and centuries. So you have this recessive X gene that is then activated by something like, I don't know, a snap bringing half of humanity back to life.
Just something from maybe a different kind of god, who's part of the Eternals. And
maybe connected to that whole world there.
Yeah, just all that stuff. I mean, and the Celestials. And yeah, I think they could easily go that route. That's how you bring the mutants in. Sprite wipes their memories, so then they go off and they don't even know. That's why they never show up. They don't even know that they're these Eternals. They're just amongst humans. And so...
Yeah.
And there's also an interesting bit with a volcano, which I don't know if it's Vesuvius. I don't know which volcano it is, but it shows a shot of Sprite like crying beside the volcano.
Yeah.
And it's just a split shot. But I think what's happened there is maybe that's a case of like, that's just a freak of nature, that they can't save those people because the volcano just erupts, and even though that they're gods, she couldn't save them, because how were they to know that the volcano was going to erupt? They just didn't get there in time.
That could very well be Pompeii.
Yeah, it could be Pompeii. Now, the only reason it wouldn't be Pompeii is because I think Pompeii's in Loki. I think that's in that teaser trailer.
Oh, right.
And so I don't know if they would cross Pompeii and both of them.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe it could. You know what? I have a mad theory about that volcano.
Okay.
What if, I'm just going to throw it out there, there's a shot where Angelina Jolie hands off a dagger to somebody. And that dagger has been given to Namor in the comic books. Okay? Mm-hmm. What if that volcano erupting wipes out Atlantis and destroys Atlantis, and as a thank you, or as a we're sorry, they give Namor the dagger to be the defender of that?
By God, if they do.
Boom!
Because this was mentioned in the Detective Dibman's group, like to see Namor pop up in a Marvel movie. Could you just drop him in and just like, we'll deal with him later?
I want to say Namor is like Aquaman, but for Marvel. But he's been around longer than Aquaman.
Yeah, like Namor's been around since like the early days of comics. He fought in World War II with Captain America, when Captain America was essentially a propaganda comic.
Yeah.
So that would be wild.
Every Hero Zero we do has some sort of Namor in it. Like he's always at the start or somewhere in the middle of it.
Yeah, he always pops up, and he's just always like, he just cares about Atlantis, which would fit because if like, you know, the world failed him, the Eternals failed him. He's like, right, I'll just look after Atlantis. No, everyone else can fuck off.
Yeah.
Like that would fit it really well. Oh, now I want Namor in this movie.
I think you could use this movie, as you said, just have ramifications for everything. Like, it's that big a film. If you're going to introduce gods over 800 years, you could use this film, and this film alongside Doctor Strange, you do a 1-2 punch and reset everything for Phase 5.
And like, because you can use this movie to just like stack your deck basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, here's a bunch of stuff in the past that existed, but they just forgot about it, and now they're all reawakened. That would work so well.
And also, I mean, like you seen them in Egypt at one point. Like you could bring in Apocalypse if you wanted to. I mean, it's a whole situation that they span 800 years. You could do whatever the fuck you want. You could bring in so many people, and we're saying all this because they might bring in nobody. We don't know.
They might very well bring in nobody. They might do, you know, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and the Inhumans all together.
We don't know. But I think the fact that these questions are being asked or are out there is pretty fun if you're a nerd.
Yes, and this is a movie that I'm very excited for to come out because it will mean an end to the question of, Shaun, what are the Eternals?
But then what about Eternals 2?
Shaun, what are the Eternals to?
Again. So we are going to have to move on from that trailer because we could talk about that and geek about it all day. But it's 8 days old. It's it's an interesting trailer just for transition shots. But there's a lot there that you could go, this could mean this. This could mean this. And that's more fun. It's a teaser, so we have to wait until like the full proper trailer comes out.
Yeah, which hopefully won't be too far away. It's in November, I think this is coming out, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, and so we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and this involves a movie that I know you love, and that is
it's risky
Joker,
when he says that.
Because Joker 2 has brought back the original director, Todd Phillips, to co-write the script. Boom!
My God.
Yes!
Todd Phillips loves a sequel. Look at The Hangover 2 and 3.
They were the good ones. I always look at the first one as just a bit of prep for the second and third.
It's just, you're just gearing yourself up. Never mind that Joker 1 was intended to be a solo, like, a one and done. And now, we've gone on record. You don't like Joker, the movie, as a concept. You don't like that it exists. I think it's grand as a movie. I think we can both agree that a sequel is absolutely ridiculous and unnecessary.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Makes no sense at all, because where does he go? Like, you can't redeem him. You can't make him sympathetic again.
And wasn't the whole point of the end of the first one was like, is it a dream? Is it not a dream?
Yeah.
We don't know. What happened? What really happened, man? It's so fucking out there. I don't know. Is it in or is it out? It's Inception. You're not going to have an Inception 2.
So you're now going to have to, like... You're going to have to come down on one side of the line. Was it a dream or was it real? I like, it could very well happen that, oh no, the first movie was all a dream, but that dream inspired him to do the things he does in the second movie.
The second one's when he really thinks about the society and what's wrong.
When he really jokes up. Like, the thing about it is as well, like, it's not going to have the same... controversy that the first one had. I feel like the first one made at least $200 million off controversy alone. It made like $1 billion and something. It would have made like $800 million anyway. It's Joker, but it definitely added $200 million because everyone's like, it's so fucking out there, man. It's going to ruin society. We as a people are fucked, man. And it's like, no, it's a pretty, like vanilla take on a Joker. Like if you, in terms of what Joker's done in the comics, that version of the Joaquin Phoenix version of Joker, while I think is quite good and is a good acting role, it's not like the most severe the Joker's ever gotten. It was just because it was like dealing with mental issues that people got so up in arms about it, I think.
Yeah, and I think that bringing back Todd Phillips, I mean, I'm just excited to see what Scorsese Philip is going to do next. I don't know where he's going to pull the inspiration for this one.
Shutter Island.
Yes! I want a Shutter Island remake.
But with the Joker as Leonardo DiCaprio.
He is madly going through the discography of Scorsese. Fuck, what am I going to do the next one on? What 2 films? I need to pick 2
What
to
can
copy.
I smash together? What can I put? What if I go totally left field? I'll do E.T. Spielberg. How are we doing?
Spielberg and Jaws? Or is it Jaws and E.T.? Jaws and E.T.? Are we going to do that? Joker likes to swim?
Can we do The Irishman? Is that a thing?
Is that a thing? Can we do The Departed? Is that out too out there? The Departed Raging Bull combo? I think it could work.
I think it could. Okay, but how about this?
Okay.
We get because it was Taxi Driver and King of Comedy was mashed up in the last one.
Yeah.
So what if it's Goodfellas and Shutter Island?
It's Joe Pesci just being like, you think I'm funny? In an asylum.
That's a very good point. Do you cast other quote-unquote Batman characters in Joker 2?
You cast Joe Pesci as Joe Pesci.
Penguin. Oh, interesting.
No. I mean, I think you cast Joe Pesci as my cousin Vinny, and you just bring him in as Vinny, and just have him there.
Go. Do your thing.
And just turn the camera on. Joe, we want you to somehow get him off murder. He's on trial. He's in jail. You're Vinny. Go.
Work it out. I just think it's going to end, like, it's going to be such a flat movie, I think. Because they're going to try and set up a third one, surely.
Yeah.
Like, where does it end?
They're rumouring a third one as well. And I think, I as much as hate as I give the first one, I can understand why people like it. I mean, it's a weird fucking cool version of Dark Joker, like, and it's a really good performance. And so, like, you kind of come away from it thinking, really great performance, cool idea, but personally for me, I wasn't into it. So then when I hear news of the second one, I'm just kind of like, but why? The whole point of the first one was that it was edgy and like different and like, this is your mother's Joker, even though Joker's not meant to be good anyway.
And it didn't have to like ascribe to or try and set up a universe. It was just there, and that was the story.
Well, I mean, now they have Oscar-nominated director Todd Phillips coming back, and he's co-writing the script, so we know he's going to put it all in.
Is Joaquin Phoenix confirmed as coming back, or is that just taken as a given?
I'm pretty positive Joaquin is going to come back, yeah.
Right, okay, because wouldn't be great to recast him, I suppose.
Imagine. Jared. They bring Jared in.
Bring Jared back in, and he does it now. But it's not like Suicide Squad Jared, it's End of Snyder Cut Jared.
Yeah, but he's End of Snyder Cut Jared, but he's playing Arthur Fleck.
Yes. Oh, brilliant. I'd give it 10 Oscars.
10 Oscars. It's so good. I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, it's one of those things where I read it and I just thought... And a lot of the comments on Twitter were really interesting. Like, a lot of people were like, this is pointless. And then someone would reply underneath, yeah, but will you go see it? And they went, yeah, I'll go see it, but it's pointless. And it puts us in a weird position that, fuck it, I may go see it. But my God, we don't need this whatsoever.
No, and I'm totally in the camp. I will see this, and I should vote with my wallet on this. But I just want to go to a cinema, I think.
Yeah. So we are going to be getting a Joker too. I, for one, am excited. What's your excitement level?
Oh, I would give it 4 clown smiles out of a possible 20.
I would give it the laughing fish. The plan that went well. That's the highest praise I can give it, because I think this is a great idea.
Okay, well, there you go. Take that to the
Only
bank.
if Joe Pesci is Joker. Other than that, I'm out.
Other than that, no funding for you, Todd.
No funding for you. Warner Media are just like, yes, we need content.
Yeah, because they sold Army of the Dead to Netflix and they came out this week and said, that was a mistake.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and it's an interesting idea because J.J. Abrams has come out and he has confirmed that a script is being written for a film. Not really a big news story, but he said that the movie in question is Portal. There is a Portal movie finally in the works, Shaun.
This has been talked about for years. Like, since Portal came out. Portal, by the way, is one of my favourite games of all time.
Can you describe Portal to anyone who doesn't know what Portal is?
Oh, okay, here we go. So,
Shaun, what is Portal?
Oh, don't start that. Don't start that, please. So Portal basically is... The premise of the game is that you're a lab subject, basically. You're undergoing tests. You're testing this device that can create two portals. One blue, one orange. And you can put the blue on one wall, the orange on another one. If you walk through it, it makes a door, or a portal, if you will. But throughout the game, you basically unravel this whole... Dr. Stephen Merchant, that's Portal 2, I will have you know.
Shit. Fuck. I've shown my idiocy.
The first one, you're dealing with basically a rogue artificial intelligence. The second one, you're dealing with a rogue Stephen Merchant artificial intelligence. Without giving too much away, because even though they're old games, the story of them is really great. And there's layers to it that, like, there's tie-in comics. It ties in with the Half-Life games as well. It's all tied in together, and it is actually a universe. Like, they all exist at the same time and in the same world. But basically, it's a puzzle game with a really good story. And as soon as it came out, people were like, "Oh, I want to see a movie of this. I want to see this plot and all the intricacies of it laid out in the thing that I can just watch in 2 hours." And I think even at the start, J.J. Abrams was rumoured. Because Gabe Newell, who's the head of Valve, who makes the game, they announced basically, it's in development, and then nothing was said for a decade.
Right. But I'm going to throw something at you. I can tell that you're passionate.
Sorry, I just looked at my waveform there, and it's just a solid block of me talking.
Look, you love Portal, and I'm all about that. I like when people like things. But here's the thing. Can I just throw some things at you?
Fire away.
Video game movies. Now, I'm going to throw back at you. We have never really had a good video game movie other than Detective Pikachu and Sonic recently.
But the two most recent... Mortal Kombat. How was that? Did people like that?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Cinemas aren't open here. Is it good?
That's true. Is it good? People tell us. Should we be excited about Mortal Kombat?
I mean, I'm sure it's fine. But video games... I feel like those movies are the exception to the rule. And so when I come to you, Shaun, will this movie be good when it's based off a video game? Or will it be another World of Warcraft?
A very good question. See, I think we are we're at a point where video game movies are better than they've ever been. Granted, that bar was low, but... You had
Doom and World of Warcraft.
Yes.
And you're in higher than them.
You're higher than them, which is like, okay, you're a 3 out of 10. No, like, they're pretty good. So I think people are getting better. I think, and as soon as I was about to say this, I realised I was wrong. I think because it's such a beloved property, they might treat it with more care. Absolutely not. Not going to happen. My worry about it is that the mechanics of the game are quite simple, and the story basically happens in the background as you're solving puzzles. So the fear there is that they try and focus in on the very, very simple element of portals and leave out all of the story and lore and interesting details. And it's just like, just get from A to B and kill the boss, basically. Like, reduce it down to that.
Everyone close their eyes. Imagine you're a middle-aged white man who is in a Hollywood boardroom. How do you write the Portal script?
But the
What's
thing
the
is,
easiest way to make money out of this?
what's conceivable is because Portal came out. I'm going to need to Google
Portal
this.
2 came out in 2011.
Portal 2 came out in 2011. Okay, so you're talking 10 years from Portal 2. 2007 was the original Portal, right? So it is possible that in that, 14 or 15 years, a Portal fan who was maybe 20 when Portal came out went into the film business and is like, man, this property I love.
Look at this. This is completely biased, by the way. Just your one review or critique of this. Because your great plan is, we've talked about video game movies before here, and you've never come up with the great plan of, well, if we think about it, one fan might be old enough now to be a studio exec, and then they could have money, and then what if they make it with love?
Okay, granted, there's a couple of small flaws in my argument there. I will give you that, Connor, because I'm a gracious man.
Yeah.
But I can't in good conscience. I can't say I think this will be good, but I really want it to be.
I think it's going to be bad. And I like Portal, and I think it might be bad, because I don't trust them.
I don't trust them either. I wonder how heavily involved Valve would be with it.
Or JJ.
Yeah, like JJ as well is like, it's a grand choice, I suppose, but I can't say much more than that because I'm always quite middling on JJ Abrams' projects, I think.
But he's good at the number one. He is good at the first one.
He is good at the first one. So if they just... Because if they follow the game... Oh, no.
Stop that sentence right now. If they follow the game. Okay, that's interesting.
That's interesting.
I like how... I just imagine all World of Warcraft fans listening to this going, shut up. Oh, so naive.
You sweet summer child.
So they are going to be doing a Portal film. I'd be interested to see it. I want to see a trailer. I want to get the vibe.
Yes. I guarantee you there's already been like a fan film that'll be a million
100%.
times better. Can I just say, in Portal, the companion cube?
Yes.
Do a psychological fucking thriller around that, and someone slowly going insane talking to this fucking box with a heart on it. That's how you make a good Portal movie.
Oh, you're thinking like 127 hours in the Portal universe.
Fuck yeah, because there's only one main character in the fucking AI. The main character doesn't speak. There's a comic about a guy called Ratman who lives in the fucking vents. That would be a good story. But like, I'm going too in on this. This is going to be bad, but I really want it to be good.
You know the video of Ralph when his heart breaks?
Yeah.
You can pinpoint the moment. I'm going to watch you in the cinema watching the film.
Oh, and it's going to be Assassin's Creed, my other favourite game.
Yes. You were so sad after that.
I was, because I was thought, surely just tell a story at some fucking point in history. It's grand.
You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong, but they went so wrong. They had Fassbender and they went wrong.
You don't get Fassbender in for something that bad. And you have a man called Ezio Auditore de Firenze. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Oh, but they went so far wrong.
Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. And this involves your favourite franchise, Willy Wonka. Because Willy Wonka has finally been cast. Because we are getting a young Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory prequel. And he will be played, as was much rumoured over the last few months, but not confirmed until this week, that Timothée Chalamet, everyone's favourite man from Dune, will be coming in to be playing young Willy Wonka. Shaun, what are your thoughts on this casting choice?
This is... look, as a casting choice, fine, he's a good actor. I'm curious about how they're going to play this. Because traditionally Willy Wonka is quite a whimsical, if not homicidal character. Timothée Chalamet seems like quite a straight down the line, nice young man.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his Willy Wonka will be. Whether he'll be like the Johnny Depp, like, ooh, fucking weird things and candy, or the Gene Wilder, here's a boat trip that will give you nightmares.
I mean, you could kind of go somewhere in the middle, I suppose. maybe he's a horrifying homicidal man who loves a bit of candy.
Interesting. I don't see the point of a Willy Wonka origin film, because in the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we don't know anything about Willy Wonka, and that's why he's interesting, because he's just, the chocolate comes out of the factory, but no one ever goes in or out.
And it adds to, like, the wonder of, like, a child and, like, sweets, and just, like, you don't know how it's made, but now you got all this chocolate, you're like, oh man, it's amazing. And it doesn't need to be explained. It's like this childhood wonder that, like, all this is so colourful, and it's just all this sugar, and it's just like, oh yes, it's amazing. But we really need to get into the nitty gritty of how he got there. What went wrong in his life that brought him here?
But we saw that in the Johnny Depp one. Christopher Lee was his dad.
That's true. That is true. And we actually got to see his life before it, but we didn't get to see it fully. I want to know what happens before he becomes interesting. What got him to the point where he starts doing tours?
Yeah, but Connor, the thing is that point is about where we meet him, like in the movie, and where they tell us just enough that we need to know about Willy Wonka. Because, and I guarantee you this because they've cast him, Timothée Chalamet is going to be playing Willy Wonka most of the time. There will be a child actor for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then they've paid a lot of money to get Mr. Chalamet on board.
Yeah, and Chalamet is going to be around for probably a good 80 minutes of the film.
Yeah, so unless they go completely left field and there's another actor playing an old and dying Willy Wonka, and you just tell the whole story of this man's life.
I mean, do you do the bit where he goes and finds the Oompa Loompas? Does anybody want to watch that?
No, I don't think they do. And it feels very Fantastic Beasts 2 to me.
Feels very Cruella.
It feels very unnecessary, correct. It's like, I don't know what this movie wants to be, whether it's a new look at Willy Wonka, or the same old Willy Wonka you've always known, or a gritty reboot of Willy Wonka.
Gritty reboot.
It's one of those ones that, God, I just think there's so many other things you could make. And
Chalamet is great. We're not
complaining
about Chalamet.
I can't wait for June.
I'm sure he's a lovely boy. I'm sure he's a great lad. But I feel like he's kind of just going to do Johnny Depp's career backwards.
It's very possible. It's very possible he could be a 90-year-old Gilbert Grape.
He's going to do Edward Scissorhands' son, didn't he? He's going to. I'm pretty sure he played Edward Scissorhands' son in a Super Bowl commercial, maybe last year or the year before.
I believe it. I totally believe that.
And so I feel like he might just be going through the whole film catalogue.
He would be a good pirate, I will say.
I just thought of pirates. Bring him in as a pirate.
Chalamet as a pirate. I'm back on board. Give me Wonka, give me Sparrow, give me whatever you want to call it.
Sparrow? It would be fucking called Sparrow.
Wouldn't it be?
By the way, do you know the plot of Cruella?
No, actually.
I've watched the pitch meeting. You know, on Screen Rant.
Yeah.
I think it's those guys that do pitch meetings. And the guy who does them is really funny and he's great. But the plot is that Cruella is so evil because her mother was killed by Dalmatians.
I'm sorry?
So Dalmatians killed her mother, which is why she wants to kill Dalmatians.
Is that not the wrong message to send about prejudice and shit? It wasn't those Dalmatians that did it.
No, it's the case is you have a woman that wants to skin dogs. How do we make her the protagonist?
Have the dogs be the bad guys?
Yeah, you have the dogs be stone cold killers, Shaun.
Why would you do this? Sorry, I know we're talking about Chalamet, but this is fucking bonkers. That can't be the reason that Cruella turned...
You haven't even seen the scene. I've seen the scene where they kill her mother, and it's great.
Is it just a horde of spots running towards her mother?
No, her mother... This is a spoiler for Cruella, by the way. It's
if
fine.
Cares.
The mother is standing at a balcony, and a Dalmatian runs up behind her and pushes her over the edge, and then like backflips back onto the land.
I don't think the Dalmatian had murderous intent, though.
Her back was turned.
Yeah, but was it premeditated? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if it was premeditated. I just know it looked premeditated. I'm just saying that dog was running like it was going to go pushing.
So you're now on the side of Cruella.
I'm thinking skinning is the logical next step.
Skin all Dalmatian, or at least 101.
At least, maybe 102 if I'm in a good mood. But 101 is the minimum.
Yeah, like it's the original 100 to prove a point, and then the original one that pushed her mother.
Sorry, that's just a really weird sidetrack. But I wanted to tell you that ever since I seen that, I kept thinking, I may tell Shaun, this is fucking mad.
Shaun needs to know about this.
So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves our other favourite director, other than Todd Phillips, Mr. Zack Snyder. Now, Zack Snyder, he's doing a lot of good stuff these days. He's did Army of the Dead. And
yeah.
And I mean, that's...
And what else has he done?
Army of the Dead. And he also did Justice League. That was better than the first, I would say that.
Longer, certainly.
Definitely
and
longer.
Also improved in some areas.
Better characterization. But Shaun,
Yes.
what is the one thing that we always talk about Zack Snyder when it comes to Batman? And I don't want to beat a dead horse. But here's the thing. He's on the press tour at the minute for Army of the Dead. And so he's being asked questions about, say, Batman. And I mean, he's involved in DC. Is he going to restore the Snyderverse? We don't know. But what we do know is Zack Snyder likes one particular comic book involving Batman. And I know what you're thinking. He's already done that comic book, Connor. Hasn't he already done that exact comic book? To that I say, no, shut up, your stupid face. Because Zack Snyder wants to do the Dark Knight Returns movie as its own thing.
But he did it. He actually did it. Like, that's Batman versus Superman. So...
But it's not, though. See, Batman vs. Superman is called Batman vs. Superman, and The Dark Knight Returns is actually called The Dark Knight Returns. They're different words.
They're different movies, but the same plot. So he's... Hang on. So... does he just want to... How does... But it is the same... Like, the key plot points of The Dark Knight Returns are the key plot points in Batman vs. Superman. Unless he's talking about doing just, here's a one-to-one adaptation of every comic
Okay,
panel.
well, I think they're very different plot points. All right, let's go through the plot points, right?
Okay.
1, older Batman. 2, ends up fighting Superman, nearly kills him. 3, it's a grizzly Batman who is coming out of retirement, and he's a bit darker. He's grimmer because of all the bad shit that has happened in his life. And the other one is Batman versus Superman. They're opposites. There's nothing...
With an older Batman, a fight with Superman, a mech suit, and he's more grizzly.
You're
Old
clutching.
Batman
That's clutching at straws now, to be honest with you.
There's more similarities than differences.
I mean, there's an
between
exact
the two.
shot-for-shot remake of him with the sniper rifle shooting. But Zack Snyder always skips the page where Batman breaks the shotgun in half and says, we never use these. He skips that one. We don't need that page.
Doesn't he? It's just filler. Let's have more shots of them fucking handbrake turning the Batmobile around Superman.
He was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Josh Horowitz. And he was talking about his idea would be to set the movie in its own standalone universe, featuring a different actor playing Batman instead of Ben Affleck. Now, he says it wouldn't have any ties to the DCEU, and he also theorises that the project really wouldn't need that big of a budget, which can only help his chances of landing the dream project of a live-action adaptation of the film. And then he said, I think it would just be its own thing. I would do it 100% Watchmen style. I don't even think it'd be that expensive, to be honest. It's pretty gritty, is what he's saying.
Oh, we love a bit of grit. We do. Let it be known, we love two things in our DC movies, Connor: grit and a sad Superman,
and a goody Batman. They're my 3 faves.
That's what we need. So, look, his version of Watchmen, I think, is fine. Like, it's not groundbreaking. It's fine. It's got some good stuff in it. The Rorschach mask looks pretty cool.
Pretty good in Rorschach.
Yeah. Rorschach is set up as kind of the hero, which he's really not. You're not meant to like him. But whatever. If he does the Dark Knight Returns, like...
Again,
sorry.
We just want to stress again. Go on.
That whole, like, no one really wins in that comic.
Batman dies at the end of it. Not to...
Yeah.
Like,
not to spoil things.
Not to spoil the 1986 comic, but Batman has a heart attack, or he fakes a heart attack to make Superman think he's dead. And then the bit at the end is like the odd wink, like, haha, like, I had you killed, but I had to have a heart attack. Still alive, I'm underground.
But, like, I just don't think Zack Snyder has it in him to do that kind of an ending. I think it would need to be a big bombastic fucking... And Batman's on top, and he's got a gun now. Do you know, Zack Snyder thinks that the ending to Arkham Knight is the coolest shit in the world. Where, spoilers for Arkham Knight, I guess, but Bruce Wayne, they blow up the mansion, him and Alfred apparently die, and then at the end a big fucking demon bat comes down on some thieves.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That could be the end to Dark Knight Returns, Connor.
We don't know, but all I know is that I seen this headline and I thought, once again, I must tell Shaun, because I feel like he's already done this. I felt like I was in a different universe than what
where that hadn't happened yet.
Like, it hadn't happened. I was thinking, did he do Batman vs Superman? Because that's the same film. I don't know what he's doing.
I also often forget that Batman vs Superman happened. Like, a lot of times in my head it went from Man of Steel to Justice League, and that's it.
So yeah, Zack Snyder is hoping to come back into the DCEU, maybe, but in like its own now new separate thing universe. And
also, if he does that, he needs to stick to that. He can't put in a little nod towards Suicide Squad or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
it has to be separated.
Yeah, and I just think, let him go off. He wants to do it. Just let him make it, and it'll make you like $1 billion, and it's fine, and we don't have to watch it, or you can watch it. He might just make it better. He's already figured out what went wrong the first time.
He's had plenty of practice, correct.
Mm-hmm. So we're moving on, and you could have an old Joker in it. Old Joker, you bring Joaquin in, boom, you're printing money.
It's Joker 3 is the Dark Knight Returns.
Shit! Yeah, because that Joker's fucked. He's real evil.
And Brandon Routh is Superman.
Oh my god. Yeah, but Brandon Routh never ages. But Superman never ages, actually. Put a bit of grey in Brandon Routh, he'd actually look very good as an older Superman.
I think I would allow that. I think I would let that happen if that was the case.
Are we okay with this now?
Yeah, because look, I'm fine with Brandon Routh being Superman in the Dark Knight Returns version of...
Who's Batman?
The Joker. Hank from Breaking Bad.
That's good.
It's pretty... It's not the worst.
You could get Mad Men in.
Jonathan Hamm.
Johnny could come in.
I always forget his name, so the joke never lands. Who is the Thing in Fan Four Stick?
The Thing is
Billy Elliot.
Bell. Jamie Bell.
I
thought you were thinking of Michael Chiklis again.
No, not
Michael
Michael
Chiklis.
Sorry, Connor. We forgot about the best casting of all, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan is Batman, but it's meant to be an old Batman. You can't be Michael B. Jordan. Even
we'll do
he
it in 40 years.
Yeah, okay, we'll wait. My Brendan Routh will look the same. It's fine. So we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is a bit of Sony news, because Sony have kind of confirmed a bit of the plan that is in place after No Way Home, Shaun. And so currently at the minute what we have is Marvel owns Spider-Man, and Sony have Venom and Morbius and everybody else involved in Spider-Man.
Someone else that was announced this week.
and somebody else that was announced this week that we're going to get to next.
Good. Sorry, I didn't know if it was on the cards.
But what's interesting here is that they've confirmed the plan is in place after No Way Home to have Spider-Man meet Venom. And so they have that in the plans that they are hoping to bring Spider-Man across to Sony and have him meet up with Venom.
Interesting. Have Marvel signed off on this?
Now, in their words, he said there actually is a plan. I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're headed. And I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed. We want those MCU movies to be absolutely huge. We have an excellent relationship with Kevin, and there's an incredible sandbox there to play with. And I think that's the same thing on our side. We have a great relationship. There's lots of opportunities, I think, that are going to happen. And they say that they want Spider-Man to be meeting Venom, which would complete, I suppose, their Spider universe that they're building without Spider-Man.
Yes, it would finally have that missing piece of the puzzle.
In the Spider-Man universe.
In the Spider-Man universe with all the Spider-Man villains whose origins are closely tied to Spider-Man, yeah, he might help. It's interesting that the name dropped No Way Home in that, because we're presuming that is very heavily based in multiverse and parallel universe kind of shenanigans. So maybe he pops through to the Sony universe for a little while and then pops right back into Marvel.
I mean, or it could be the case that Tom Holland's contract runs out at the end of No Way Home and then they fully get him back to do their own films.
Very possible. Very, very possible. Could be that they just bring Garfield back in as their Spider-Man from another universe, which will have been established in No Way Home.
I think you bring Tobey back.
I don't think you can bring Tobey back. I don't think he would work well with Tom Hardy's Venom as opposed to Topher Grace's Venom.
Actually, do you know what someone said? If they do a live-action Spider-Verse, have Andy Samberg play Peter B. Parker, so he just takes the Nick from New Girl role, Jake Johnson.
That would be great. That would actually be class.
Someone said that and I was just like, that's actually weirdly good. I would be okay with that.
It's weird that he's not in any of those superhero movies yet. I wonder, has he ever been considered for anything?
No, I think he's a busy man. I think he's filming Brooklyn all the time.
He's just always filming Brooklyn.
Yeah, I read this and I thought, so they're planning that after No Way Home, they're taking Spider-Man back and introducing him to a whole host of villains that they're setting up while he's gone.
Yeah, and apparently, we have, the likes of Vulture is already in that universe, maybe, depending on how Morbius turns out.
Yeah, I think, wasn't he in the Morbius trailer?
He was, yeah, he showed up right at the end.
Yeah.
So they could do their own. Are they going to bring Spider-Man in and his first outing will be a Sinister Six movie?
Oh yeah, fully. They are setting up, they're doing the weird thing opposite way around where they're setting up all the villain team and then they're going to bring in the hero instead of the other way around.
But because all the villains have solo movies, they all have to be kind of anti-heroes.
Yeah. And you're like, you kind of liked them. You're like, this Peter Parker guy, he seems like a dickhead. Ruined all their plans.
Oh, it takes place in a parallel universe where Spider-Man is the bad guy and all these villains team up to help.
That's good. That's good. And who do you cast as Spider-Man? If Tom Holland leaves, I feel like that will ruin their plan. If Tom Holland leaves and doesn't do at least one with them, it kind of ruins all the... I don't know, you're building him up as that's Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And so when you bring him across, you get a whole host of new viewers. But if he leaves and you just bring in a new Peter Parker... that's kind of harder to build up.
It is. It's a tough one because you need that name recognition, that face on the poster basically to get people in. And then if Tom Holland wants to leave, at least you already drew those people over.
And you bring in Miles.
You bring in Miles. I think because I think Miles Morales is in the cultural fucking knowledge at the minute enough that he could have a live action movie and hold his own.
Yeah, you use Peter Parker, Tom Holland to launch Miles Morales, whoever you have in that role.
Yeah, and which is interesting because in the comics, Miles Morales is from a different universe. He just got folded in because he was so popular. So it'd be interesting to kind of see the reverse of that, where Peter Parker was brought into the Sony universe. And then passes the torch on, basically.
Yeah, okay, right. So that is the first bit of Spider-Man news, Shaun. But we are finishing this week with the big news that came out.
Yes.
And that is a certain casting for one of Sony's Marvel movies that they're doing on all the villains. And that is Kraven the Hunter, Shaun.
Hell yeah.
He will be getting his own spin-off movie, and we found that out a few months ago, along with Morbius and Venom. And this week we were finally we were let in on who will be playing Kraven the Hunter in Kraven the Hunter. And that is Mr. Aaron Taylor Johnson, famous from Kick-Ass, Avengers Age of Ultron. He was in that one time.
Yeah.
Shaun, what do you think of this casting? I know you're a mad Kraven fan, so I'm interested to hear what you'd say.
I am a big fan of Kraven the Hunter. I was recently reading a comic where Kraven had 100 clones of himself, and then he made them all kill each other until he found the strongest clone who would be worthy of his successor. They were either clones
Kraven
or actual children. I'm not sure which is better, but that is Kraven. Aaron Taylor Johnson is not the person I would never have thought of him. Maybe it's because he's been in superhero stuff already. But like, thinking about it, like, he seems a fine choice. He's a pretty good actor. He can do a vague Eastern European / Russian accent, as we learned in Age of Ultron.
I mean, not great.
Not great, but now he's going to have to hold that for the whole movie.
Yeah. By the way, I should say that Kraven the Hunter, the role, was first offered to Brad Pitt and Keanu Reeves.
I want Keanu, though.
It was also offered to John David Washington and Adam Driver. So,
oh wow,
it got offered to a lot of people before it got to Mr. Taylor Johnson. Now, that's not to say Taylor Johnson is bad. Obviously, the studio will just go out. If you offer Brad Pitt anything, I think that's normally a good choice. And so the case is that they offered it to Keanu Reeves as well, and he said no, thank you. And then I think Adam Driver's a really interesting one. Well, John David Washington is also really good. I think John David Washington and Adam Driver are probably the two strongest choices there.
Yeah, I do like the Keanu Reeves, because I just think he'd be good in any comic book role. John David Washington, again, not one I would have thought of, but my God, that would be good to see as fucking Savage Hunter Kraven. But I don't think Aaron Taylor Johnson is a bad shout, honestly, because he's an actor as well. It's his job to become characters. I'm just interested more so, I would say, in how Kraven works in the Sony universe, because Kraven's whole deal is that he was a big game hunter, and he eventually became so good at being a big game hunter that he lost all interest because it wasn't a challenge to him. So he started hunting superheroes. And so he doesn't have a lot of those to work with in the Sony universe, unless he hears, like, there's these two lads called Venom and Carnage that keep cropping up in San Francisco and causing hassle. Like, and he just decides to take matters into his own hands, basically.
I mean, would you have brought in Mr. Joe Manganiello?
I
think he was like the fan choice, I feel.
Yeah, I think he looks quite Kraven-y just in himself. And I think he'd be great at it, but I think he's kind of firmly in that. I think he was in DC / Deathstroke land for a little while. And
I think actually Deathstroke is like the DC version of Kraven the Hunter, or Marvel's Kraven the Hunter. Like, Deathstroke's story was he was also like a game hunter who then turned into an assassin, who then got bored and just was like hired himself out for money to just kill whoever anyone wanted.
Yeah, and so there's often that with comics, that there's bits and pieces taken and copied, for want of a better word.
But yeah, I think he's definitely in that DC world now, and he has that character down that people kind of like him there. And you could have brought him across, but it would have probably felt maybe a bit samey if he came across.
Yeah, I think this does also. It kind of puts down any rumours of like Quicksilver coming back, in the MCU.
Yes. I mean, I feel like they were going to go with Evan Peters if they were bringing anyone back anyway.
But then they either intentionally misled us or chickened out right at the end.
Dickheads. But yeah, Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Kraven the Hunter. Personally, to me, I would have gone a different way. Now, of course, we haven't seen him in the role, but I feel like Kraven the Hunter should be intimidating when he's standing still. Like, you should be... Like, when he walks into a room, everyone should go, oh shit, what the fuck's gonna happen? Whereas, I think Aaron Taylor-Johnson, I mean, he was fucking jacked to shit for a Kick-Ass 2 or whatever, and he's a very muscly man, and I'm not taking that away from him, and he could probably kick the shit out of me, but I feel like there's like an aura that he probably doesn't have in terms of a badass, that he walks into a room and everyone's like, oh shit, something's going to go down.
Yeah, he doesn't have that like Kraven looks like he's just been living in the wild for 40 years. Aaron Taylor-Johnson doesn't have that naturally, as he's a human man actor. But look, and makeup and fucking hair and wigs and costume, that will all do a lot. And acting, that will also help to convey it.
Imagine acting.
But I get you. Wild. But he doesn't seem to have the... he's not the natural choice for a Kraven in terms of matching him to the comic books. But I think he's a good enough actor that I'm still interested in the project. If they announced that they were casting Timothée Chalamet as Kraven, I'd be like, look, lads, I admire it, but I'm not watching that.
They were looking to cast either Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan.
Somewhere in that range.
That's kind of every acting gig for any male in Hollywood.
Yeah. These are the two things we're considering.
That's a callback to a few weeks ago when what movie was it that they were like they're looking for someone either Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan. We were kind of like,
I think that was the Marvels.
Oh yes, it was the Marvels. Yeah, maybe. And then I just feel like that was so funny to us that they were just like, yeah, just throw a dart. Just somebody who's working in Hollywood.
Just any working, living actor. That would be nice.
So yeah, Aaron Taylor-Johnson is coming in. He is going to be playing Kraven the Hunter. I think it's really interesting. And I think maybe he's the right age for a Tom Holland Spider-Man. Although I do think it's kind of more intimidating if like if it was Keanu Reeves. I think that gives like, if it's Tom Holland Spider-Man and he's only like, I mean, Tom Holland turned 25 today I've seen, but he's still like 16 in my head. And so when he's in the film and then you have Keanu Reeves who's like Michael Keaton, like talking to him like he's an idiot. Like, you're a child, you don't understand.
Yeah, and look, we don't want all of Tom Holland's villains to be, 50 to 60 year olds either. Yeah, we don't want them to be the same. I think Aaron Taylor-Johnson is like in his 30s. So he's like a little bit older than Tom Holland, but not a huge amount. But maybe you could go down the line of, they had very different upbringings. Like Kraven had to learn to fight for himself, whereas Tom Holland was looked after by Aunt May pretty much.
Yeah, I think
maybe there's that.
It could work. We don't know. I'm interested. It was an interesting, probably out of left field casting choice. And I just think Aaron Taylor-Johnson, he's been around the houses. He's been in a lot of superhero stuff. He must just like it. Even after Age of Ultron, you'd think that would put him off.
I feel like he just occasionally has some weddings coming up that he needs to get in shape for. So he just decides to get paid for it while he does it.
Fucking put me in a superhero film. Go on. Be grand.
What? The Dark Knight Returns? Yeah, I'll do it. I don't care.
So, Shaun, that is actually it for this week's Weird News. Movie Mondays, I should say.
Tuesday Mondays, I'll have you know.
Tuesday, I got all of them wrong. Tuesday Mondays, Weird News Fridays.
Excellent.
This is the end of Movie Mondays. First of all, I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone for listening in, because we didn't put out an episode yesterday.
Well, we put out a 1-minute clip of me explaining things.
Because it was my birthday. And
was your birthday?
Now, because it was my birthday, Shaun, you sent me a present.
I did indeed. I sent it through the post, and it's very fragile. I hope it survived, Connor.
Well, I have it here beside me, and I haven't opened it until this exact moment.
I see, you were waiting. Oh, so the whole day delay, you've missed your birthday, basically.
My birthday was yesterday, but still I waited because I thought it'll be better content.
Okay, well, let's do do it right at the end. We'll do this unboxing scenario if you want to do it, Connor.
Unboxing. Okay, here we go. I wonder if this new mic will pick all this up. We don't know.
Has it recorded anything at all?
We don't know. Okay, here we go. So, I'm flipping. It's a big box. It's a big square
box.
What did Shaun get?
ASMR.
It's fucking wrapped well. Fuck it.
Yeah, they did that. They'll do that at the shop. They'll do that at the checkout online.
And we have some wrapping. Shaun got me a Lego Batman Lego set.
It's class. It's
oh my god. It says 18 plus.
That's why I got it. I thought it was wild that a Lego set was over 18s.
Why does it tell me to fuck off when I complete it? Why is it 18 plus?
It kicks the shit out of you once you've done it.
Yeah. Once you put it on, once you make it, it just starts fighting you because you commit crime. Oh,
it just comes with a bottle of whiskey.
410 pieces, 18 plus. I mean,
it's meant to be fiendishly difficult.
Oh, good. You know I love a bit of fiendishly difficult.
I just thought you could do that in your spare time or when you're busy and under stress.
I did stress. Sorry, boss, can't go to work today. Gotta make the Batman head.
This Batman cowl ain't gonna Lego itself together.
It's 18 plus. You gotta be a big boy to do this one.
No bother, Connor. You take all the time
on
you
my
need.
18th birthday as well, Shaun. So nice
I know.
of you. Just scraped it.
Just got in there. Otherwise, you'd have had to wait. You'd have to wait 364 more days.
So that is very nice. Thank you very much, Shaun.
You're very welcome, Connor.
And your birthday, by the way, is in 26 days. 25 days now. It's the first.
Yeah, so 26th of June is my birthday.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of... I'm already thinking of presents. And we're going to have to make Batman it 18 plus.
Oh no, we're not giving each other 18 plus gifts all the time.
But like really mundane. Like it's always sort of like Lego sets.
Yeah, I got you some Meccano.
So yeah, thank you very much, Shaun. Would you like to take us out after that unboxing?
Yes, you're very welcome, Connor. Thanks you everyone for listening to this episode of Tuesday Mondays. We will be back tomorrow with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and then Monday, when we'll be back to normal, we'll be at Movie Mondays. Big thank you has to go to everyone who supports us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast, link to that in the description. Big thanks to the official third host, Waffles, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe, RateMyHemsworth.com, Click Rate, Click Luke, Refresh Repeat, Never Give Up, Hickok Didn't, Bernie, Ray, Things the Heroes for Hire are never going to do, Give You Up, Let You Down, Run Around, Desert You, Make You Cry, Say Goodbye, Tell a Lie, or Hurt You.
I have told
Ging.
Hundreds of lies on this show. Hundreds.
So when you said you liked that present, that was one of the truths.
That was one of them, yes.
Oh no.
Or is that a lie?
I'll choose to believe that it is. Thank you also goes to Róisín, Schrödóisìn, Hally, Ryan, Satron Paint, Evanson, Shaun, Bone, Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah, Florida Gal Green, Anna Maureen has the fry on Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, there can only be one Highlander, but 3 Lowlanders, McGrew, and Danny McLaughlin. Thank you all so much for your continued support. We hope everyone enjoyed the Superman Returns review that we did over on Patreon, our Lazarus Pit episode. Brandon Routh, how is he as Superman? You can head over there, $5 a month, you get access to all of the backlog of those reviews. You can also follow us on Twitter at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook, we're Detective Divilment's discussion group, link to that in the description. Or you can follow us on Instagram at Heroes for Hire Podcast. But the most important thing you can ever do to help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Connor Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
I'll see you next week, guys.